I have spent some time thinking about what would be the best team, and I just ultimately want to go over who I didn't pick first, because it'll ruffle some feathers. Obviously, we're picking Momo. Momo has to be here. Momo's kitted out with a few... The set that I want for Momo is Momo's very bulky, but also extremely, extremely capable in that special defense sector. And very, very slow. Unburden can fix that slowness, and so can setting up the quiver dances, and that will basically turn Momo into an unstoppable special attacking machine, as long as Flame Burst and Side Strike will do the job. And also, the goal is to kind of be able to stall and use Heal Order to keep setting up quiver dances, which should synergize with the rest of the team, as you'll see later. Anyway, the important ones that didn't get picked were, I didn't end up taking Melancholy the Jirachi. I'm fully aware that I could have gotten a Jirachi that was functional, but, I mean, just looking at this Jirachi, at the end of the day, it is a mixed attacker, but as a psychic type, it kind of doesn't have as much utility as it should, and I like the balanced stats, but at the end of the day, I feel like I had better options for more balanced and tanky Pokemon that could kind of fill their roles better than I feel like this Jirachi could have. I didn't end up taking Huntail. I felt a little bad about it because I did kind of want to use this thing from the second I got it. But it is what it is. I didn't take Cindy. Kind of broke my heart. I did not take Master Baltoy, which I feel like you should really appreciate. I feel like I was on my game with that one. I did not take Scarvet. This kind of hurt me. She was right there. She was right on the edge of being on the team. And I kind of want to use her in the post game. She's fun to use. She's got utility. She just never learns any fucking normal type moves, and none of the TMs work on her. She's a bit hard to work with, but, you know, I like her. Anyway, for the first member of the team besides Momo, we have Nox the Gengar. Now, I caught a Ghastly around a while ago, and I was so excited, but I knew that I couldn't use it because I didn't want to have too many ghost types on my team and have too many common weaknesses, because I already kind of did. So this is a Mega Gengar Nox, who is the next... Oh, well, okay, spoilers. Doesn't matter. It's okay. You probably thought about it anyway. So, Calm, Nature, Gengar. So this is just getting rid of the attack that I wasn't going to use anyway, although I do have Fake Out running on it, and then increasing some of the bulkiness of it. Now this thing has Storm Drain, which is pretty cool. It's good pivot. So the set that I have here is pretty obvious what I'm running. I'm kind of running like a bit of a nuisance set. This is also supposed to kind of synergize and be kind of set-upable. Like, if I can go into something that has been weakened by one of the later Pokemon that you're going to see, and has kind of been fucked up, I can then go into this Pokemon, do a little bit of chip damage with Fake Out, and then just kind of sit there and spam a bunch of fiery dances, try to get my attack up, or I could use Poison Powder and then go for Hex. There's a lot of options, and so I feel like with this Gengar, especially with the increased stats that I'm going to get, especially speed and special attack, and I believe defensive boosts, it's going to be a big fucking help on the offensive side, and, you know, as a special attacker, indeed. And so now we're getting to a bit too many special attackers, so I have Big Ass Eel, or known as Bay. My thick... Oh, come on with this! Well, also known as my thick fat Electros, who I think is going to do a great job. Now, as you'll notice, Bashful Nature, very neutral nature, doesn't really do much. Holding the Magnet, just for, might as well status. The Thick Fat is going to come in huge with the defensive nature of this, and as you can see, we have really nice defensive stats and a very, 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 very high attack stat that I think we're going to be able to leverage really well, and I'm really, really excited to be able to do that. Looking at our attack stat, it works very well with what we've got. When we have something that we can't exactly handle, like a ground type, because I just wasn't able to really get any moves that work with ground types very well, we can Dragon Tail it away. If something's setting up stat boosts that we don't like, we Dragon Tail it away. And then we have these kind of just coverage moves to help us kind of keep our rhythm going if shit gets bad. And they should deal the damage that we want them to, for sure. So Bay's basically just kind of a physical attacker, get that electric coverage, get some coverage in general, a neutral move, and have something that can kind of force people out. Now, our next Pokemon is Yang, the Hydreigon. Now, this thing does have fucking suction cups, but I've decided that even though it didn't have the ability that I wanted it to, I can work around that. So it does have a fucking dumb nature, but I can work with it. This is basically just a mixed attacker, and I have decided to turn it into a mixed bulky tanked attacker that's entire goal is to piss you off and annoy you. So we have the means to defend ourselves, via Dragon Rush and Night Days, right? And then we have Recover to kind of keep ourselves safe, keep ourselves insulated. just in case something does break through our defenses. And then we have Flash, and the main goal is to stall with Recover while completely lowering something's accuracy at the start of a battle. So Yang will be the lead. Yang will be the beginning, and basically weaken up and soften and mush up this Pokemon, get it completely ready for someone, you know, like Nox or Momo to come in. And that will be the goal of Nox and Momo, is to then set up with a Fiery Dance or Poison it and use Hex. Or to, you know, heal and set up Quiver Dances while it can't even hit, you know? And basically, this is what Yang does, is that Yang can hold her own, but she is here to set up problems. And she's got a Rocky Helmet just to kind of enforce that she can do her own things. Alright. And next, we have the Pokemon that was supposed to be Xerneas, but instead I got Suicune instead of Xerneas. Swaz. Now, this is actually a pretty good Pokemon. It's a naughty nature Suicune, and it came with Drizzle. I cannot enforce enough the fact that it came with Drizzle. It has a plus attack nature, so it's a bit of it's a versatile mixed attacker. Obviously, I want to have the stab move and a special attack, because that's better. But we've also got, like, these, you know, we've got guaranteed direct damage moves that are always going to do 60-ish damage, depending on what our level ends up being. And then we've got Head Smash, Blast Burn, just as these last resort moves that add both coverage but can also kind of help in a pinch. And then we've got a Life Orb to kind of power up the stab that we do when we're dealing with Water Pledge. And finally, as you would expect, the final team member is Mama Ray. If it wasn't Mama Ray, who the fuck would it be, bro? Let's be so for real. Let's be so for real. This is what we've been wanting. This is the new Mama Ray. Not really all that new, but I have kind of changed her up a bit. So her purpose is also to be a staller, but more of a self-sufficient staller. She can sit in, she can paralyze you, put you in Whirlpool, sit there and recover, and when she needs to, she can absolutely get her hands dirty by using Light of Ruin and ruining your fucking life. This is the team I'm going into the Elite Four with. I don't really regret a thing. I think that this is a great fucking team, and I am extremely excited to see how they fare in the Elite Four. They're all level 63. It does kind of pain me to not have some of the Pokemon that I wanted here to be here, but I'm glad that Momo's here. I'm glad that Mama Ray are here, and they have seen so much together, especially Mama Ray, who has been on the team for the longest amount of time this whole playthrough. Ever since Mama Ray was put on the team, Mama Ray has not been taken off. And I think that they're gonna fucking cook. He be